Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices. We'll be looking at the S&P and the Nasdaq with Elliott Wave. The Nasdaq is being skewed a little bit, so we'll also have a look at some of the reasons for that with Amazon and Google. With the S&P 500 here, we're pretty much sort of on track here in terms of the bigger picture. We'll just go over that for a moment. Wave 3 here, the Elliott Wave triangle pattern here as wave 4, and wave 1 and 2 here, and we're in this is minor degree here, so we're in minor degree 3, third wave here. And within the third wave we're looking for 5 waves of minute degree of blue wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and in minute wave 3 here we're looking for a smaller 5 waves here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. It is possible to have this wave 3 here sitting on top here, and that's on our website, but for the video purposes I still want to explore this of being 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then up for 5 here, then an ABC correction for wave 4 here. In the Nasdaq here, this wave 4 here has overlapped the top of wave 1, and that's given us that skewer in that, but we'll look at that when we get there, but I thought it's just good to point that out. So, onto the 4-hour chart here, picking it up from, well, blue wave 2 here, so wave 1 and 2 here, and looking at this as all as wave 1 and 2 and 3 here, and wave 4 here, and then moving up for wave 5 here. So wave 5 can come between 29.20 and 29.30 here. Now I also want to point out too that if 29.30 becomes a tested support, it's okay for the market to trade above that, but when it comes back down and tests it, if it finds support here, we'll be seeing a pattern like this: the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and an A and a B and a C. So if we get these reference points here, we'll need to go long above the 29.30. That's our trading levels strategy for that, because we don't want to miss a move up here, because this market would like to be pulled up to the closest largest number, which is the 3,000 here. But before it gets there, I think that we've got this wave 4 here, and we're counting 5 waves up here that will take us a little bit higher here, and then collapse here as an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 4, coming back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree or close to it, and then a move up through here. But like I said, if I'm wrong and the market continues to move up here, then we'll look for a pattern like this and we'll continue to trade long up there. So we're already long in this particular trade here, but whatever happens, we expect to take out the top here of this wave 3 here. So on the hour chart here, we've been looking at going long in various ways here. We can move the stop up here to around this level here, and like I said, we're looking for one more move to the upside here, and that would be in a little 5-wave sequence here. So I'm not sure, it should come in between the 20 and 30 here. Once that, we'll have a look at this trend on the tick chart in a moment with an Elliott wave count, but once this 5 waves here is finished in this bigger picture here, we'll look for an A wave, a B wave and a C wave that can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here, and then a move up here. So we'll need to look at taking profit in this space here, and if the market finds support on top of that 30 there, then we know that we'll have to go long again. So I'll just go over this being long again here. So it's the 29.30 that's the critical point. So we'll have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and that will be our reference point, and then we'll see a move down through here. Now when the market comes down, in most cases it will find support at the number 2 here within group 1. Group 1 is 10, 1, 2 and 3, 10, 20, 30. So normally it comes down to the 20. It can spike down to the 1.5 here, and then make a recovery here. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see the number 2 here, the pivot within group 1, becoming the retested resistance here. If that's going to be the case, then it's going to be bearish at that point, and you know that it's going to be pulled back to the closest largest number, which will be the 29 here. So every number is really important in its own frame. So the number 3 here is support, creates the long trades here, and if this becomes the resistance over here, then you know that we're on our way to wave A, B, and C here for wave 4. Okay, the move to the upside here can be counted in different ways, but including every single wave here, then from this wave 4 low here, would need to look at this as wave 1 here and here, and this as wave 2 here. I can't call this wave 2 over here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, because this move here is also in 3 waves. So we need to look at this as being a wave 1 and 2 here as well. And then we also need to look at this as wave 3 here. The trouble with this one here, the wave 4 here overlaps wave 1 here. So we could end up with a bigger picture here taking us above the 2930 area here. So that's why we need a strategy in place for that. But all things being equal, apart from this small error here, wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 5 waves up here for wave 5 of 3, A, B, C for wave 4. Yes, and wave 4 could get a little bit more complicated. It could be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave coming back here, and then moving up. But as it stands at this point, this structure is not completed yet, and the good news here is that this appears to be corrective here, so we should be taking this high out here. We want to, if you're still long in this, then make sure that you got yourself at break even at least here, and taking some profit in here. And just as a reminder, support on the 2930, you'd need to go long again from that. So I think that when we look at the Nasdaq now, the Nasdaq, I think we still should follow, generally speaking, the S&P 500. So in this case here, we've got the same 3 and 4 here, and everything's pretty rosy for wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And then this is a situation here where this move down here overlaps wave 1 here. I suppose I could call it wave 1 up here, wave 2 here. We could also look at this as an ending diagonal triangle, but I don't think that's the case as well. So there's different ways to look at it, but I think it's logically best to consider what the S&P 500 is doing, and we should be continuing to move up into the 8,000 area here. So let's just move into the 4-hour chart here to start with. So what we've been doing here is considering a few wave counts, but at the same time being in line with the S&P. So we knew that we'd finished our low down here, and we know that we're moving up through here, and we know that the resistance was going to be in this box here at the 50-60% retracement level, so we're getting that at the moment. We've got a long trade in here on the hourly chart here, so in this space, so get that to break even here. The move down through here so far is an A and a B and a C, so this move down here is corrective. If we see another move down here and touch on this, well then that would be a concern, because a move down through here would be 5 waves down from the top then, and then would have a 3-wave counter trend, and then we would be moving down further from that point, and we would need to be short here. But as it stands, we should just move straight up from here. These lows here are a little bit tricky to count. Even on the cash market, they don't count that well. It's like, do we use, well, on the cash market, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 lows that we can use. A couple of these are just spikes. So I'm not sure the best way to count this. I can see from this low here that we've got 5 waves up and then the pullbacks for 1 and 2. I can also see here, as I mentioned last time, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So after we get this 5th wave, we'd look for a pullback in here. We've got that. That's also quite deep here as well, overlapping this structure here. It certainly can be an A and a B and a C wave to here as a corrective wave, and we can move down from here. I wouldn't look to go shorting this market unless the 7,500 became the resistance. So while we're above this, the closest largest number, like 5 is the second strongest number in the market according to me. So while we're above this level, then we need to be looking for long trades. We'd only look for short trades below this level. So even though that the wave count is a little bit skewed, it's a bit tricky. So when we have a look at Google, for instance, this is a top here in Google. So this appears to be corrective here with an A and a B and a C. I think that I haven't pulled this apart totally here, but this appears to be corrective sideways. So there can be another drop here before moving up here for this. The Amazon here, as you may recall, we've got wave 4 here. We've got wave 1 and 2 here, nice third wave here. We're looking for wave 4 to pull back, and then wave 5 to move to the upside. Also here as well, it's possible that this can be the A wave, the B wave, and a C wave to here, and then up from here, or we can just go straight up from here as 3, 4, and 5 here. I'm not quite sure with this one here as well. Certainly if the top comes out, if the market's above the 2,000 here, then certainly go long. But be mindful, because it will be pulled back. It's just going to exert some energy and then fold back again as well. So yeah, so those are where those are being sort of skewed from. So with the Nasdaq here, if this wave 4 is correct and wave 3 here, then we should make a new high above this level here. So and then moving up into 7,800 here. So that's kind of nice. We wouldn't want to miss that. So we take this green line trigger here and place it here, just above that B wave high here, and we can look to go long from there. So I'll leave that at that, but we also want to get these current trades. We don't want to see the market go down any further than this, so make sure you get that into break even here. You could also look for other entries in here as well. Let me just have a look on the tick chart here to see if I can. Yep, you can go on this one here as well. So you can sharpen this up here. I just got to move a little bit quicker here. So you could probably go long on 7,550 as support. So at the moment it's resistance, isn't it? So if it's going to fail, this is where it's going to fail from. But it does appear we've got an A and a B and a C wave here with the first wave up here. So we could actually go long from this point here. And then keep the stops. If you go long here, then keep the stops 61.8% lower from here. When you get to the 61.8%, always gravitate to the closest largest number and then go onto that. So if it is 7525, well then go below that, not at 4, but at probably 2, so 22 in that case. So coming back to the hourly chart here, then yeah, so we could also just grab this here, go long above here as well. All right, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Cheers.